my favorite little corner of my house to film. So I've got my mug of coffee. I thought it was a good time to sit down and do a little chatty video. These are probably my favorite kind of videos to do. It just enables me to be able to let it out a little bit, and maybe you guys can connect to how I'm feeling and you can share your stories with me. But today I'm just going to be chatting all about why I resigned from my job and how I did it, how I felt about it, and maybe if you're thinking about doing it and you're unsure, because it's a massive decision to make, maybe this video will help you. If you guys haven't subscribed already, please do so down below. You can hit the red subscribe button and tap the bell to get notifications. I try to produce and upload videos twice a week. Like I said, as of right now, I am working full time, so finding the balance is a little bit difficult in all aspects of my life, but very soon I will be without a job outside of the home. So basically, I have been with my company for about, close to 18 months. And I went in on the purpose of I was going to be there for 10 days. Now, it worked out really well, and I ended up sort of moving up, and I really, really liked it. It's a very, very full-on position. It's, I'm obviously not going to say which company it's for, but it is, I guess, kind of quite well known where I live, and it's very demanding. It's the type of company that, because it's so small, you just don't switch off. You don't switch your laptop off, your phone off, or anything like that. And for me, this was part of the reason why we left London. James was in a very demanding job beforehand, and I had been before the children, and it was sort of us wanting to move up north to Yorkshire was because we wanted to take a step back from that and spend more time with the kids and go to work and come home from work and not carry work with us. So funny enough, we kind of found ourselves in reverse roles, because I was at home with the children for 7 years, and then I went out to work, and James works as well. He's a farmer, but he was having sort of less hours than I did, and my work just became super, super demanding, and I became, I guess in a kind of weird way, obsessed with my work a little bit. I just felt really good in the aspect that I was going out, I was making money, I felt very proud of myself. I started to feel almost like a little bit smarter again. I have to be very careful how I use my words, because obviously being a stay-at-home mom, that was one of the most, if not the most demanding job I had. And one of the things about going back to work was that I thought, oh yeah, I'll go back and I'll be able to do this and this and this. No, it's not like that, because you're still the mom, you still cook the dinners, you still clean, you still do all this kind of stuff. And even if you, like us, for example, we have a cleaner, if you had that kind of stuff, still people, they don't do the same way you do things, do they? So, coffee break. That's so good. Love me an afternoon coffee. So basically, I really wanted to sort of decrease my hours, and I knew the role that I was in. So I work as a personal assistant to the managing director. I knew that just wasn't going to happen. I could not do, even if I put my hours down to like 4 days a week, I wouldn't be able to do that, because I would just take the work home with me. I would turn my phone on. You know, I have a few days off this weekend from work, and already I've been on my phone checking things, and I just mentally would not switch off. And it was starting to affect not only myself and my health. I was starting to lose weight. I started getting a lot of anxiety. It was starting to affect my relationship. It was starting to affect my relationship with my children. And it was then that I just had to it actually took me, I got ill for a week, and it took me that week to realize, no, this is not for me. And I spoke with James, and I really thought he was going to be like, no, you need to give it a shot, because suddenly we'd gone from a one-income family to 2 full-time incomes. So, you know, we've been able to do lots of lovely things and put money away, and, you know, we're getting the house done, we're getting married next year. And it was just for me to say, well, actually, that's all going to stop. He was just right on board for it. He has been doing the majority of childcare runs and all that kind of stuff, because I'd have a certain train I'd have to make to get into the city. And he was really on board with it. So I resigned back in December. We're now getting on to February, it took a while for them to find a replacement for me. And when they did, that person had a 1-month notice. So I agreed to stay on, mainly because I wasn't going to anything else. And then I went through a period. It's funny because when you resign, it's like you're almost ready to go then. And I was ready. I was ready in December. I thought I was going to have 2 weeks off with the kids, and then I was going to go into January, have the month of January off, like focus on the kids, getting them back into a routine, getting work done to the house, sort of supervise that. And then I went back to work. Now I've gone back 4 days a week. I'll tell you guys this, I'm struggling with my work 4 days a week. I mean, I come back and it's like boom, boom, boom. Like I'm just maxed out. I'm doing, I think, like 40 hours in 4 days now. Then I went through a period where, because I love the people I work with so much, I just didn't want to go. And I even went into my boss's office and I sat down a little bit teary-eyed and was like, I don't want to leave. But by now they had recruited somebody else. So I went into my work after having a long conversation with a few people, and I kind of put a business case together and suggested a more sort of like a less role. It would be like 3 days a week of more of like an office coordinator type role, basically doing the jobs that nobody wanted to do. And the thing at my work is that everybody's kind of like a one-man band, and people just need help. But unfortunately, because it's a small company, there's no budget. So that went out the window. And then I had to really come to terms with the fact that I was leaving. And not only was I just leaving a job, I was leaving and not going to another job, and kind of going back to my life almost 2 years ago. So that kind of brought me down a little bit. So you'll find, like, when you decide to leave something as important as your job, like, you just go through these highs and lows constantly. And it's funny because now I'm almost on a high. Now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. But the best thing about work, about going and having this job, even this really demanding job, is that it has taught me that I am a working outside of the home mom, which I think I had a real hard time coming to terms with, because I loved being a stay-at-home mom. I absolutely loved it. But I really want to find something where I can kind of have the best of both worlds, where I can have a couple days at home with the children, because you guys, I miss things like taking them to school. I miss just holding their hands, walking to school, hearing their funny little stories, going to the bakery after school with them, little things like that. But then I also really like going to work. I like putting my heels on. I like putting, nice clothes on, getting out the door and catching the train and having a takeaway coffee and going to work and actually doing work. You know what I mean? I like the best of both of those worlds. So fingers crossed I can find something in the next couple months that enables me to do both of those. But I guess why I just kind of wanted to come on is because I felt almost like a little bit of a cheat, because I put this post out, which had an amazing response to, saying that, I was not a quitter, but I've decided to put my family first and put myself first as well and leave work. And I got such a lovely response from you guys. Coffee's going to get cold if I don't drink it. I had such a lovely response from you guys, and I just wanted to thank every one of my viewers there. And I also wanted to thank my viewers for sticking by, because, while I've been at work, this lady has had no time to sit down and do these chatty videos, but it feels so good to be back, and I absolutely love making videos like this. Just to know that I can reach out and just with my long chats, just somehow maybe reach just one of you, that if you're thinking about making a big choice like this in your life, I just say, take a minute to yourself, look at both ways, even write a list. That's what I did, and I'll try and find that list. But I wrote down the pros and the cons. The cons, the biggest one basically being that we were going to be cutting down money-wise. But the pro, the same time, the amount that I was paying for childcare bills, my goodness me, as well as like sports clubs and all that kind of stuff. I just felt like, the pros outweighed the cons, and it was just time for me to take a step back. And I think I'm at that point in my life right now where it's okay for me to say, do you know what? I don't want a career anymore. I want a job. I want to go in and I want to help pay the bills, and then I want to come home, and I want to come home to my family, and I want to cook tea, and I want to sit down, and I want to watch TV, and I want to have a nice time. At the same time, I want to go out there and I want to be an independent mama. So I'm going to try and do both if I can. So I hope this explained my my little working situation. I was honestly just going to do this as like an Instagram post, and then I kind of thought, actually, do you know what? I want to make this video, even if it's just for me, because I want to look back and know, yes, I made the right decision to leave such a wonderful job and such a place where the people were just so amazing. But sometimes it's just not the right fit. And sometimes I think you have to be a little bit selfless and realize it's not just about it not being the right fit for me. It was also not the right fit for my family. And I know now that I'm making the right decision. So you guys, thanks for hearing me out. If you haven't stopped this video halfway through, because you know I love a chatty chat, so I will think about making more of these videos like that. I have actually just recently asked you guys for some questions because I'm going to put together a Q&A video, so definitely write some questions down below. If you're thinking about leaving your job or a relationship or anything whatsoever, I'm no expert, but I do love to help other people out, and it's great that we can engage in this community that is YouTube. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the red subscribe button, and tap that bell for the notification, and head on over to my Instagram if you'd like to see more of my posts, and I will catch up with you guys soon. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. Bye, everyone.